Welcome to Modular Hippo and episode 13 of the Inboard electrical motor build. If you're new to this channel, this is the playlist where I am trying to build an inboard electric motor for a 36-foot aluminium sailboat. And the main feature is that I'm using two 10 kilowatt motors, so it's a dual setup. The project has been stagnant for a while, so apologies for you if you follow this and haven't seen anything for a while. So in this episode I'll go through the roadblockers that I've hit, as well as trying to push certain things forward. So let's take a look. One of the main reasons I haven't powered everything up yet to try it out is that the 18650 battery packs that I'm building in parallel has run to a halt. It's not due to not having the right components, but it's more that the solution I have done around building the battery cells is a solution that is not allowing me to replace the battery cells, the individual cells, if they go bad. So I am reluctant to kind of hardwire all of these 840 cells, knowing the work it's going to include to replace the cells once I need to do so. So mentally I run into a block where I'm thinking these should really be designed so that I can replace these cells, and that would make so much more sense. So that's something I need to work out in my head. So meanwhile, we have a primary battery pack which consists of two Saplox boxes, roughly 32 kilowatts. I ordered the actual prism cells from China, and the payment didn't correspond with the company's name exactly by letter. So nothing happened for 2 months. The funds were returned and I've put another order in, and I've been told that those batteries are now on its way and have left China. So hopefully it won't take too long before I have these up and running and can use those for the actual project. Meanwhile, because I know it's going to take a while to get these, I have ordered a separate 100 amp 48 volt battery from China that hopefully should arrive next week. It looks like this, and it's just a battery that I will be using for testing. I think it's a scooter battery for those two-wheeled small scooters you see in the streets. So once that arrives, I can then connect that up to all of this and we can give it a test drive. But until then, it will just be mechanical pieces that I will push forward. So in this episode, I will just continue to connect these battery cell cables, because regardless of the design of this one, they still need to be connected. So I've already connected this one up, so it looks like this with this bridge here. So this comes from the BMS and goes in, and these goes to all the individual plus points on the 14S setup. So let's do it. So a quick recap on the components I have on this one. So in the top corner here we have the actual parallel module pack, because I have two of these. So the idea is that I can then connect them together and run them side by side, and they will kind of make sure that they're in tune with each other. The actual BMS that handles the charging current and also the release of the actual power, as well as the active balancer down here. So the BMS and the active balancer cables are merged into one single cable that goes into this junction box, and from this junction box each of these 14 plus wires will then go to each of these 14 cells, because this is a 14S battery pack, which means that each of these are roughly 3.2 volts, and then 3.2 plus 14 ends up in 48, 50 volts, something like that. So there's a 15th pair as well, which goes to the negative. So what I have left to do on this one is to connect all of these cables that goes from each of the plus of the battery packs back into here so that it's connected with the active balancer and also with the BMS. So let's do that quickly. This whole row is now connected from 1 to 14, one for each cell or battery pack, and number 1 on this one is the negative. So that is all the cable connections connected. Now I just need to work out how to redesign this, because I want to be able to swap out individual cells if they're bad, or easily replace them when the other ones have reached the end of life. So I'll have a figure about that one. For the first pulleys that I bought for this experiment, I got the V-belts. There's a big chance I will replace them with toothed belts instead, and toothed pulley wheels. But I want to use these for testing anyway, so I made sure that the key steel opening is bigger now, so I can use the key steel that is on those shafts. So that's another thing I've received back since my previous episode. I've also ordered and received some very thin stainless steel spacers. And the reason for this is that once I tighten up the bearings here on the back there, I can feel a slight tension in the shaft that's going to couple up with the propeller shaft. So I want to figure out exactly where I can add these spacers to align both the bearings so that they are perfectly aligned. So I'll probably take a look at that now. Adding the spacers made it worse because I put them in the wrong place, so I will continue with this another day. Thank you for watching episode 13. If you are new to this channel, feel free to subscribe. If you're interested in the actual boat build, then there's a playlist for that, and there's also a playlist for the electrical components that I'm building in parallel with all of this. If you have any comments, any concerns, any great ideas, please stick them in the comments and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.